I'm Brandon.
Hi, I'm Hadia.
I'm Abby.
I'm Bethany.
Hi, I'm Gabby.
And this is Group 1, and our topic is to sleep, no doubt to dream.
Okay. So, what was your project and why was it done?
Okay, so basically, in 1952, which is a few years ago, there was a scientist grad student who was named Eugene Asterinsky, and he was studying sleep. He did a few experiments on infants, and he noticed some weird eye movements going on, so he decided to continue his studies on to adults, and later on discovered that we have different stages of sleep, and during one of those stages, we actually dream. Later on, another scientist named William Dement was really fascinated with what Eugene had found and the fact that everybody dreams. So he conducted some experiments of his own on adults and found out that we all dream. And he later on wrote a book reporting on everything that he had found. Both of these scientists were really curious about sleep, and they wanted to broaden their wealth of knowledge, and they conducted experiments and gave us lots of information that we now use today.
Ready. So, what's the methods and procedures?
Oh, okay, sorry. For Orensky, he observed infants while they're... sorry, my phone. For Orensky, he observed infants while they're sleeping. He discovered the active eye movements. However, they couldn't talk, so he observed adults, which he used electronic measuring devices, which were attached to electrodes to muscles around their eyes while sleeping. This is all occurring at night while they're sleeping. The participants were awakened and questioned. When they were awakened, during the eye movements, and when they were not. 27 awakenings were done during REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement. 20 out of the 27 had detailed visual dreams, and 7 out of the 27 participants had the feeling they dreamed but didn't remember. During the no eye movement, during the 23 awakenings, 19 out of 23 report no dreaming at all. This method concluded that REM sleep is dream sleep, also that everyone dreams even if they may not remember dreaming. This followed after William Dement's research, which studied the question of the most significant discovery that Dement made was that since dreaming happens every night, is it psychological or is it physiologically necessary for normal human function? The first studied those who were deprived of dreaming, gave depressants to inhibit dreaming, but found that drugs affected their sleep far too much for the results of the study to be valid. The final method, which was the method he used for his research officially, was preventing dreaming by waking participants up every time they entered REM sleep during the night. The first 8 participants, ongoing sleep and dreaming research projects, ages 23 to 32, they'd arrived at the lab at normal sleeping time, which is at night. Small electrodes attached to scalp and near eyes, which recorded the brain wave patterns in eye movements. Just like Orensky's studies, the wires to these electrodes ran into the next room so participants could sleep in quiet and dark rooms. Procedure. The first phase were several nights. Participants allowed to sleep normally for the entire night, allowing them to record the baseline of normal sleeping patterns and dreaming patterns as well. The second phase was when they deprived the participant of REM sleep. Over the next several nights, with the number of consecutive deprivation nights ranged from 3 to 7 various participants. The experimenter awakened the participant every time the information from the electrodes indicated that they began dreaming. The participant must sit up in bed and show they were fully awakened several minutes before sleeping again. The important factor was that the participants did not sleep other than the times that the researcher was recording their sleep. The third phase was the participants were given several nights off. Then 6 of them returned to the lab for another series of interrupted nights. These awakenings exactly duplicated the dream deprivation nights in number of nights and the number of awakenings per night. Only difference in this phase 3 was that participant awakened in intervals between eye movement dream periods. When dream periods began, participant was allowed to sleep on without interruption and was awakened only after the dream had ended spontaneously. The final variable inside this experiment was the control recovery. Everyone had the same number of recovery nights as they did following the dream deprivation phase. These were included to diminish the possibility that any effects of dream deprivation were not from being awakened many times during the night, dreaming or not.
So, what was the summary and results?
Well, in short, Dement proved that we do need to dream. He claimed to observe some kind of pressure to dream that increases over successive dream-deprived nights, which basically means you have to make up the lost time that you dreamt. So, comparing the first result of the first night of the experiment, the participants awakened 7 to 22 times in order to block the REM cycle. And their average sleep pattern was about 7 hours. And within those 7 hours, 80 minutes were used in just the dream cycle, so about 19.5%. The last night of the experiment, the number changed to 13 to 30 times the amount that they had to be awakened to keep the REM blocked. So the final result is basically twice as many attempts to dream occurred, showing that the body was trying to replace the lack of time of dreaming. So in short, from 80 minutes of sleep spent dreaming, it ended up being 112 minutes of being in the dream cycle, which ended up being 26.6% of the sleep cycle. So in short, Dement, through his findings, show that we need to dream.
The significance of Dement's study are still applicable today. Dement discovered that alcohol and narcotics can affect sleeping patterns. Even though these substances might increase the drive to sleep, they repress REM sleep and tend to go straight into deep sleep, eliminating the dreaming phase. Dement's findings led to the discovery of delirium tremens, which are hallucinations usually during withdrawal, creating crazy dreams or dreamlike events even while awake. To apply his information today, we know that Dement is still alive and he continues to research sleep and dreaming at Stanford University. He has published several books and has influenced the study of many sleep-related diseases and more. Today, because of him, we can understand the importance of not just sleeping, but good quality sleep.
In conclusion, take a nap.